Glitter in the real world, a beautiful mess. But in our digital realms, it's pure mesmerizing magic. Say hello to Sparklecore by Leonardo AI, where glitter becomes a clean, creative powerhouse for your art. I'm Jessica with the Real AI Agents, a content creator and media consultant with a passion for sharing how AI tools can revolutionize the way we work. Recently, I've been weaving spellbinding tales in a fairy tale land I'm crafting for an upcoming project. So when Sparklecore was released right as I started this particular project, I knew it had been conjured up to help and that I had to share it with all of you. With Sparklecore, our artistry is enchanting, not untidy, making each creation stand out like a fairy tale come to life. And forget about the background chaos. New transparency feature is your digital eraser, bringing your subjects to the forefront effortlessly. As I bring my own fantasy series to life, these tools couldn't be more perfectly timed. Stick around and I'll show you how to sprinkle this digital glitter without any cleanup. Let's step into a world where your creations are not just seen, but felt. It's time to sparkle. To try out these new features in Leonardo AI is head over to their website and go ahead and hit this launch app button here and it will take you into your account. If you don't have an account, be sure you sign up for one. Leonardo does allow you to have 150 tokens a day to play around with on the free account. You'll notice that some things are missing, like your alchemy refiner only can be used so much. You only get so many alchemy generations before it would make you upgrade to a premium plan. That said, the premium plan on Leonardo is extremely affordable, coming in at $10 a month for 8,500 tokens. So I highly recommend at least getting that upgraded plan if you can find it within your budget to do so, because it is well worth the images that come out compared to the free version. I actually am thinking that in the future, I may do a video comparing the free version to the paid version, just so that you kind of know what you're getting yourself into with it. All right, so now that we're in, what we're going to look at today is all going to be under the image generation tab. So you can get there by coming to this image generation that you see right here, or you can come over to the user tools on the toolbar over here and you can click here to begin. And it's going to take us to our generation screen. So you can see all of your settings are over here on the left-hand side, all in one place. So let's just take a look at them real quick to make sure I have everything set where I want it to be. I'm going to generate one image at a time right now, and you'll see that the token amount changes as you go up for how many images that you want to generate at a time. So be cautious of that if you're trying to conserve your tokens. You've got a couple options here. You've got your photo real version 2 and your alchemy version 2. For most of my work, I tend to work with the alchemy on, just because I don't do a lot of like the really photorealistic images in here when I'm doing things like fairy tale lands and kind of more animated creations. And then this transparency here is what we're going to go over later in the video. You can always turn your images off if you don't want them to be public images. So you'll see mine's off right now. I just want these to be private images. But if I was okay sharing with the Leonardo community my images and my prompt, I could toggle this on right here and it would do that. You don't have that option if you're on the free plan. All of your images will be public, so keep that in mind. Image dimension or input dimensions here, that's where I choose the size of the resolution that it's going to come out. So for this particular example, I actually want to do 16:9 as my aspect ratio, and I want it to be this 1360 by 768 here. So I'm going to go ahead and click that button. And then everything else, the guidance scale, I'm going to leave at 7. I've been pretty happy with that. That has to do with how strongly your prompt is weighted. And then in the middle here, I'm going to come over and I'm going to put in my prompt close up of a full-figured fairy goddess with a vibrant dark red hair cascading over symmetrical wings, sparkling as enchanting glitter illuminates her silhouette. Color contrast, 8K photorealistic, vibrant colors, ultra fine detail, dramatic lighting. And you can see I've got the fine-tuned model set here. So let me just show you an easy way to figure out which one I should be using with the element. So if I click on elements here, you can come down and I'm going to be using the Sparklecore here. So you can see that in the description here it says, use the word specifically glitter or sparkle in the prompt with Leonardo Vision XL for best results. So I'm going to go ahead and click that on, and then I'll come back over to the fine-tuned model, and instead of Leonardo Diffusion XL, I'll take it down to Leonardo Vision XL. Now this is the style of image that you want. So if you're interested, I do have a video. I will link it in the description here that goes over exactly what each of these models and styles does. I also have another video about each of the elements. So both of those will be linked in the description. Go check them out. And while you're there, be sure you like the channel and subscribe so that we can keep making these videos for you. But back to it. Let's check out here. We've got our Sparklecore on. I'm going to change the weight to 0.7. That seems to be my really sweet spot for using the elements on some creations here. And then all we have to do is come over and hit this generate here, and you'll see once it turns purple, it is able to be generated. So if you don't have a prompt in or you haven't set something up correctly on the prompt, then that's going to be grayed out and you won't be able to click it. So let's go ahead and generate this. And you can see there, while it's working on the generation, it reviews your prompt. I didn't put a negative prompt in this one yet, but if it doesn't come out right, then we may go ahead and add that. You'll find out more about that in the other videos as well, if you go check them out. And we have our image here, so let's take a look at it real quick. Make it full screen. You can see that it definitely does have quite a bit of sparkle here. That looks good. It's got some body glitter on her. It did make her more of a full-figured fairy. I found that if I don't use that language a lot in the fairy creations, they look very thin and almost unhealthy in how taut their skin is and that sort of stuff. So I think it did a great job here. It's really got the dramatic lighting down, very clear on the eyes. Could be upscaled a little bit. I think that might add just a little bit more depth to the image if I took it into the universal upscaler that Leonardo has. But all in all, for 16 tokens, that's a beautiful image. Now let's see with this same prompt, if we turn this element of Sparklecore up just a little bit, let's try 1.3 and see how that affects the image. We'll go ahead and generate again using the same model, style, and element, just with a different weight. All right, and here we go. You can see this one really overdid the glitter, I think, personally. This is a weird position for her head and neck. There is a lot of shimmer and glitter, I mean, all over her skin, the wings, everything. So if you were looking for a really high amount of glitter, that definitely would be taken care of, moving that Sparklecore weight up just a bit there. For me, this one's a little too much. I don't think that that's necessarily an image that I would use right now. But you can see the difference in how it goes from the 0.7, which is kind of that sweet spot that I tend to use, versus the 1.3 here. And then just for fun, let's go ahead and take the weight down to just a 0.3 and see if we can just get a light amount of sparkle. But this time I also want to add a second element. So I think that the Sparklecore seems to work really, really well along with the glass core. So if I go ahead and select glass core as well, I'm going to come in and I'm going to set this one at 0.3 too. So it should have an equal balance between the Sparklecore and the glass core in this upcoming one that we're about to do. We'll leave everything still again the same model, same style. And then we just added the glass core and took them both down to 0.3 on the weight. So let's generate another one here. All right. So now that this is generated, let's take a look. It's got the beautiful red hair I was looking for. You can see that now her wings are still shiny, but they really have kind of that translucent glass look to them. They almost look like they are thicker than the wings were before. You can see kind of on the material here on her dress that it is more of like a hardened glass look with the sparkle. Beautiful on the makeup. Everything looks really good here. I love the hairpiece wings that she has in. I think those are really going to sparkle. This definitely will go in the Upscaler, and I will run that real quick just to show you how you could do that if you wanted your art to increase a little bit. Come back up here to the top, hit our back arrow, and then we've got our universal upscaler right here under Get Started here. We also have it under the toolbar over here. So we'll go into the Upscaler. You can see there's an add image here, and you can come over to your generations, and you'll see that that image will be right there. All you have to do is select that, confirm it. You'll see it does cost quite a bit of tokens to get that generated. But in my opinion, the way that it really refines the image, cleans it up, really adds a lot to it, it is well worth those tokens if you have enough of them in your balance for the month to use. The creativity strength here, I recommend keeping it around 5 or below if you want the image to be very similar to the original image. I've noticed if you go up 6, 7, 8, 9, it almost makes it cartoon-like the higher you get, and it also adds a lot of like imperfections on the skin as you go higher, and it tries to get more creative. I am going to put the prompt in, so I just copied it from the other page just so that it knows what I'm going for with this image, but you do not have to put that prompt guidance in. It will upscale it just fine without it. So let's go ahead and upscale that. This top one down here where it says show slider view, you can move this bar over and it will show you the difference between the old image. And you can see as I move it over the wings, look at that detail that is really added into the wings. You can see her hair is brought back to more of a natural tone than what it is in the first image. The hairpiece is really beautiful. You can see it's added some texture to her skin, cleared the eyes. Her lips are more full and realistic looking. It added a little bit of depth and character to her chin. So I'll keep going here, and you can see it added like some moles on her chest that make it look more lifelike. Really brighten the arm piece over here in her second wing. I mean, look at that. I think that's well worth 110 tokens for the quality of image that it's producing. And if you want to see a side-by-side of those images, you can come down here to show side-by-side view. And you can see, so there's our original image, which I thought was very well put together to begin with in the image generator. And then when I brought it over into the Upscaler as a bonus so you guys could see it, this is what it looks like coming out of the Upscaler. So just the quality difference in that I think is wonderful. You can really see where it highlights that Sparklecore. Remember, this is only set at 0.3 for weight with Sparklecore and 0.3 for weight with glass core on this particular image. So gorgeous. Now that we've seen how the new element Sparklecore can really transform an image that you want to sparkle or have a glitter effect to it, and we've seen the magic that the universal upscaler does to already awesome images when you pull it in there and upscale it, we're going to take a look at transparency and see how that can help you as a content creator to be able to generate an image with no background behind it. So if we come back to the home page again, we're going to head into image generation one more time. And you can see I have the same prompt in there that we just used. I'm going to leave the Sparklecore and the glass core element on. I liked the look of that image, so everything over there is going to remain the same. My settings over here, everything is still the same, except this time I'm going to toggle on the transparency. You'll see that it says here that the images will be generated with a transparent background and that you need to not specify a background in your prompt or you may end up with undesirable results. It also does not work well with Leonardo Diffusion, so we don't need to worry about that because we are using Leonardo Vision XL for this right now. And you'll see that up here, it did come up with a warning. It says, shorten your prompt for more reliable results with transparency toggled on. This is a brand new feature, still in beta, so it's really kind of in the use it and break it mode of things. So I don't have a background in this particular prompt. So the first time, let's just go ahead and run it and see what we get here as an image. And then if we need to, we can shorten the prompt from there and see if we can get something better. So generate here, cost me 16 tokens to do one image of this size. Okay, so here is the image it created for that. And you can see there is no background behind her. She definitely has the glass core sparkle effect on this outfit. Her wings are beautiful, well done. I do think maybe I want to shorten the prompt a little bit and manipulate it around just to see if I can get a different image that she might be actually looking at the camera. So let's go ahead and come back to the prompt. And just to show you what I mean, if we take the full figured off here, and let's go ahead and get rid of dramatic lighting, ultra fine detail, and the illuminate her silhouette. I think that might be causing some chaos for it. Okay, and let's give this a shot and see if we get a better image. All right, so let's take a look here. So you can see this time she is looking at the camera. You can see what I mean about it really thinning the character out, sort of the very narrow jawline, that sort of stuff, if you don't put the full figured in. So you're probably wondering, why does being able to use this transparency matter to people who create a lot of content? So let me just show you a really quick example. If I hop over into Canva, I'm going to pull over this video background here onto two different slides, the exact same background. Now let's say I want to use the fairy that we created earlier that has the enchanted forest background behind her. I can click that and it's going to show up here on this image, but you see, if I don't remove this background from her, I'm not going to be able to see what's going on in the back. So one of the ways that creators do that is by coming up to edit photo here and hitting background remover. And you can see that that then removes the background and I can move her wherever I want. And you can see that the video is still happening behind her after having done that. So if I take that transparent image that we created and I just bring her in, I don't have to do that extra step of the background removing, which that might have seemed quick in this example, but sometimes it can take a few minutes to remove a background. And those few minutes are seconds that I could be using to do something else. So if you come in here, you can play it. You can see that really the transparency is much more see-through here on her wings. You can really see that background moving behind her there. Versus over here, when the background moves, you can't see the background through her wings. Her wings are not truly transparent, but they do not have a background behind them. So you can see the difference here if I move the slider over and just let it play. Her wings versus the transparency created wings. I mean, that is a huge difference. So that is one use case example of why transparency would be important. And there you have it, creatives, a whirlwind tour of Leonardo AI's Sparklecore, the universal upscaler, and that game-changing transparency feature, all designed to amplify your artistic endeavors. Now, it's your turn to use these tools and unveil your masterpieces. Whether you're dazzling with Sparklecore or crafting clear visions with transparency, we want to see your genius at work. Share your creations across any social platform with the hashtag #RealAIAgentSparkle. Let's ignite a galaxy of digital art together. If you're thinking of upgrading to a premium subscription on Leonardo AI, be sure to use our link in the description so you can support more videos like this one in the future. Our community is on a mission to hit a milestone of 50 new subscribers. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button, ring the bell for future updates, and share this video with friends who revel in the art of possibility. Remember, every like, every share, and every new subscriber not only supports our channel, but also fuels this wonderful journey of discovery and creativity we're on together. I'm Jessica with The Real AI Agents, and as always, keep looking towards the future.